Which lip filler lasts longest? What determines the length of the lip filler is its consistency, or what we call G prime. So how thick or more consistent the lip filler is, the longer it's gonna last. But you have to balance this, especially in the lip, with what is gonna feel good in your lips and feel soft and look natural versus what's gonna last the longest. So things like Restylane Lift or Juvederm Voluma are things that I really don't put in the lips. Those last the longest, but they can be very hard and firm and just not look natural. But fillers like Restylane Kiss or Volbella are very, very soft, and they're great for people that want just a little bit of refinement, but don't necessarily want a whole lot of volume. These will last not as long, so those last around 6 months. So they last longer, but in the lips is longer necessarily better? Not really. Which lasts longer, Juvederm or Restylane? It kind of depends on the person and their metabolism. Juvederm for me is slightly thicker. It's a little more firm than the Restylane. Restylane tends to be very soft, very smooth, very natural. If someone is injecting their lips for the first time, I like to use Restylane. It gives a really nice little volume without being overpowering. You can do the same with Juvederm, but you get a little more plump. Like it looks a little bit more, not necessarily Kylie Jenner, but just a little more volume. So if someone wants that or they want it to last just a little bit longer, I'll usually go with the Juvederm. So in general, Juvederm by just a little bit will last longer, but they each have their benefit and work different in different people. It also depends on what your lip shape is to start with. If you have thinner lips like me, you don't necessarily want to start with a thicker filler that's going to try to, add volume all at once. You want to add very slowly over time to get to the point where you want to be. And I'll actually start with the smoother fillers in the beginning to get a little bit of volume before we move to the thicker ones to get us where we want to go. So it just looks like more of a natural progression. Which lip filler is best? Really depends on your lips and your goal and when we're trying to get there and how we're trying to get there. If you want just a little bit of refinement, you're trying to make asymmetric lips more symmetric, you're trying to get more of the liner, something really fine and thin like a Restylane Silk or Volbella is very nice. If you want a little bit of volume, but you definitely don't want anybody to know you had lip filler, something like Restylane is really great. You want a little bit more volume than that, Juvederm works really well. And then there's also RHA fillers. Those can last longer, and I really like RHA 4 if you want the nice, big, juicy, pretty lips. So it depends on what your lips are like to start with and what you want them to end with. Does massaging filler break it down? Maybe. The way that filler breaks down is that you have an enzyme in your body that breaks down hyaluronic acid. So this does this naturally in your lips and your skin just all the time. You make hyaluronic acid, you break it down, it's a whole cycle. And hyaluronic acid is what is in the filler that we're injecting into your lips. So you're putting this in a very concentrated gel in one place, increasing the volume there. By massaging it, you can sort of smooth out that little place of the filler that you've placed it. This is great, especially for the lips where you may feel a little bump, and you can massage it and it will take it from being this very condensed ball of filler and then making it smoother. But by doing that, that does increase the surface area that hyaluronic acid enzyme, the hyaluronidase, can get to the hyaluronic acid and break it down. So possibly over time, it's not going to break it down over a day or two. It's not going to make it gone in a month, but it could expose it to more of the hyaluronidase to make it go down faster. How can I make lip fillers last longer? The way that they do this in many of the studies is by injecting small amounts over time. And so you inject a little bit and come back in a few months, inject a little bit more and a little bit more, and that way you're layering filler upon filler. And if you add to before that previous filler is completely gone, number one, it'll look more natural because you're not going from filled lips to non-filled lips to filled lips. You're just kind of maintaining what you have, and then what you have is actually sticking around longer. The process of injecting lips does stimulate some collagen on its own just because of the healing process of healing from the injection. So that can actually help it last longer and create more collagen just from the injection. Have questions? Would sincerely love to hear from you. Call or email anytime. Thanks for watching.